A very good morning to all of you. 8th A. Welcome to the EVS class, children. Hope you all are fine.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. And wish you all a very happy new year from my side. Wish you all a lot of growth, a lot of understanding, a lot of hard work and success ultimately. Okay.
Happy
Now,
to you, ma'am.
okay. Now, children, in today's class, we'll be talking about a new topic, and that is human population and the environment. Now, as we have already been discussing about, if you remember, we had a talk of the children one day, yes? And there you spoke about the impacts of different issues, yes, on the environment. So the same way, the topic that we are going to discuss today is an important topic, you can say, based on the current situations of the environment. And the human population, it has a big role when we talk about the impact on the environment. Human population, the increasing human population has a big role to play in it. Yes, as the human population is increasing, we see that the same time, or at the same way, in the same way, there is a lot of problem created to the environment, isn't it? Yes, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So we are going to discuss about the population. Let's understand what is population first. Population, basically, when we talk about population, we actually mean, now what you can do is, since you don't have the book, so what you can do is you can take this thing, or a copy with you, and you can have a pencil, and when I say something, you can just make a small note of it. Fine. So when we talk about population, we are actually talking about the number of the species, number of the organism in a particular place, in a particular environment. Now it can be of any particular, like if we say what is the population of supposing Rajasthan. So that means we are talking about the number of human beings which are there in Rajasthan. So population, now this is about Rajasthan. If we talk about in general terms, then also we talk about the number of organisms present in a particular environment. May it be animals, may it be plants. But when we specifically talk about human beings, that means we are talking about the population of the humans. So you can make a note of it. The number of organisms present in a particular environment at a given time, particularly, because see, it can increase and decrease. If death take place, it is going to it is going to decrease, and if birth takes place, it is going to
Increase.
so yes, so basically we mean that for a given time only, it can increase, it can decrease. So at a given time, what is the number of the population or number of the organism? Then we talk about some different terms. Please write on the first one, that is population density. Write on population density. Just make a heading, population density. So here, when we talk about population density, children, we are basically talking about the size of the population in that space. Whatever space we have taken, there, what is the size of the population, that refers to the population density. It may be less, it may be more in number. Next is natality or the birth rate. The second topic is natality or birth rate. Please write the heading. Natality or birth rate. Now this refers to the birth that take place. How many births are taking place? Yes, and it refers to per 1,000 people per year. Per 1,000 people per year. So that refers to the natality or the birth rate. Per 1,000 people per year. Similarly, we have mortality or death rate. Mortality or death rate. Okay, so as I have told about natality, Chaitanya Matthews, Can you tell me what is
Yes, ma'am.
mortality then in the same way?
What happened? Ma'am, I don't know.
Okay, then you have to say the same as I've just said. Azana Khan,
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes,
child.
ma'am.
If the same way, like we have done natality, if the same way I talk about mortality rate, how will you say? What do you say?
Ma'am.
You have to repeat. See, when we talked about the birth rate, now we are talking about the
Yes,
death
ma'am.
rate, and it's same.
Ma'am, the birth rate increases when the birth. Ma'am, when the people died, the birth rate decreases.
No, no, I'm not talking about this. You are not understanding. See, I just said that when we talk about the birth rate, we are saying
Yes,
that
ma'am.
childbirth per thousand people per year.
Yes, ma'am.
So death rate becomes per
Ma'am, less.
death per
Year.
thousand per
Per
year.
thousand year.
Per
Yes,
year.
ma'am.
Okay, every year. Per year means every year. Okay, so
Yes,
per,
ma'am.
yes, fine. Next we talk about the population dispersal. What is dispersal? You must have heard about the term dispersal when you talked in your class 7th, when you talk about seed dispersal. What is dispersal?
Spreading of seeds from.
Yes, 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 very good. Spreading, moving from one place to another, you can say. The same way when we talk about population dispersal, it means like we had so and so and so areas. Now, if people start moving from one area to another area, then of course the population is going to increase of an area where the people have moved, and the population of the place from where the people have moved will decrease. Yes, like supposing I say, like there were 50 students in cathedral in 8th A. Yes, and supposing if 10 students shifted to supposing ABC school. Yes, now the population of cathedral 8th A will,
decrease,
and the ABC will
increase,
Increase.
increase with
Increase.
10 students,
how many?
10
10
students.
students,
5. So are you understanding? So the
10
migration, you can
students.
say, yes. The migration into means coming to that place and out of some place. So it can increase and decrease the number of the people in that particular place depending upon how many have gone. So this is how we talk about the population dispersal. Next we talk about population growth rate. Now when we talk about population growth rate, children, it is going to include all means it will include birth, it will also include death, and of course it will include the dispersal. Why? Because see, when we talk about rate, growth rate, the growth rate may increase, it may decrease depending upon, again the same way, depending upon the birth taking place. If so many birth have taken place, it will increase. If death rate is more, then of course it will decrease. And the same way, how many people have shifted or how many people have come to that place, again that is going to decide the number of organism or number of human being of that particular area or the population of that particular area. So these are some of the terms which are related to population. Any problem, any confusion in this, children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Next we talk about growth of human population. So if we talk about the growth of human population, now you will tell me, okay, so this is something which is very logical and very obvious. What was the growth rate, or how many, what do you think the number of population was more or less in the very early years when human being came into existence, when life came into existence? What was the case in when we talk about the very early times? Was it more or was it less?
Ma'am, it was less.
It was less. Who is it? Please tell your name.
Ma'am, Mohammed Saad Chaudhary.
Yes. Please repeat. Muhammad.
Saad
Okay.
Chaudhary.
Muhammad Saad. Very, yes. Absolutely correct, Muhammad. Can you give a reason for this?
Ma'am, because earlier there were not many people and there were not medicines to cure illness. So earlier people
Good.
died and now
Fine.
there are medicines to cure people
Fine.
and
Fine.
there are more people are alive.
Very good. Excellent. He has given one of the reasons, which is absolutely correct. And if we talk about it in detail, at primary level, if we talk about initially when the life came into existence and human beings were there, less availability of food, then the survival was very very difficult since we did not have such such improvised rooms, improvised homes, and such comfort. The life then was very difficult. If you are hungry, you have to kill and you have to eat. It was not that a platter will come and you'll sit and you'll eat like we do today. Yes. So there the basic need, to satisfy the basic need, that is food, clothes, and you can say water, etc., it was difficult. You had to travel a lot. Yes, and moreover, as he said, the food that remained uncooked. So many of the time, of course, it created problem, and there were no medicines to cure. If you catch some of the disease which is fatal, then of course there was no treatment, and ultimately you have to die. So he is very correct. Sad is correct, absolutely correct, that at that time the less number of people were seen, or you can say the population was very, very less. Now I give you the second situation and someone else is going to tell. What about when agriculture and development came into existence? What about that time? When agriculture was there, what about
Can I
that?
tell?
Yes, yes, of course, please. Please tell your name first.
Ma'am, Shreyanshi Gupta. Ma'am, Shreyanshi Gupta.
Okay, Shreyanshi, yes.
Ma'am, when agriculture came in India, people think people do not kill animals and they grow food like wheat, bajra, rice. They eat fruits,
Yes.
they cook foods and many other, and there was not people do not kill more animals, people do not eat meats,
Of course.
and people eat good nutrition, people get good nutritions also.
Yes, correct. What I want to ask is that how was this related to rise in population? What was seen? Like just Sas said that, ma'am, at that time the population was very less. So what about this time? Like you've given a very good explanation of the case that yes, agriculture was there, this and that, everything you've explained. So how is it going to affect the population?
Ma'am, it will affect the more population, that people will kill less animals.
So like what about the human
There was
population?
not
Is it going to
fighting between.
increase or it will decrease?
Ma'am, it will increase.
It
Ma'am,
will?
it will increase.
Yes, of course.
Increase.
It will increase. Correct. You are correct. Because now see, you have proper food to eat. You can grow, you can wait, and when the food is ready, you can cook, you can eat it. More nutrition, of course. You're correct. You yourself have given the answer, and that is absolutely correct. That now, with the growth, with the development, with the agriculture, people, there was a rise in population. So the first case we see less population. In the second case, along with the agriculture and development, we see rise in population. There was a growth in population. More number can be seen in the population. Fine. Now the third case. What about the with the industrial revolution? Do you understand industrial revolution? Devi Tandon, can you tell me what is
Yes.
industrial revolution? Anyone? Industrial revolution?
Ma'am, the introduction of
Ma'am,
industry.
One by one.
development of industries. Development industries.
Yes, the development of the industries. So now what is in the third case? How do you relate it with the population? When there are more industries, of course, more of the people will be employed. Yes, you will get a better product. You will get more, you can say, eateries. Yes, and the same way, more of the things will be there which make your life easy. So in this case, again, the population is going to increase to an extent, to a level. The population will show a lot of increment. There will be a good growth in the population. And what about today? What about today? What do you say?
Ma'am, population is increasing.
Yes, the population has
Ma'am,
increases.
population is
Yes. Beta, your voice is lagging. The population today has increased to a level that now it is creating problem to the environment. It has increased to such an extent that nowadays it is creating problem to the environment. It is causing harm to the environment. Can you tell in what way it is causing harm to the environment?
by cutting down trees or
Huh?
uh,
Yes. Good.
cutting down of trees
Yes, yes, of
for
course. And why do we need to
agriculture,
cut trees?
for space, for live
Yes,
to
yes, of course. When there was, supposing, if we take an example, if there were 10 people, they need very less space to live. Moreover, their comfort were less. They only need a house. And nowadays, just think, if that 10 increases to 100, the place which will be required, the space required by 100 will of course be more. Then the comforts. They did not need any ACs and all. We now, in one home, at least there are 5 to 6 ACs presently. So this is how the environment is getting affected. There is a huge growth in the population. You can call it as population explosion. What do we call it? Call as population explosion? When there is a big growth in the population such that it starts affecting the environment, it starts creating problem to the environment, and the environment, you can say that it is at risk, then we call it as population explosion. Now it cannot be held, it is going beyond, and that is what is happening today, we see. Yes, so there are different impacts. The first, of course, you yourself have said that it is going to cause problem to the environment, that is deforestation, cutting down of trees, more place required for living, more houses required, more building, more hospitals, more schools, and the same way the idea that comes to human is to cut down the trees. More space, more space, more space, more industries, more hospitals, more schools, more houses, yes, more hotels. Nowadays, why has it so become so common? Every day here and there in the news you see, एक शेर पाया गया, आज रास्ते में एक पाइथन मिला, आज ये हुआ. It is because it's not their mistake, they are not coming to our home. It's because we are reaching their home and destroying their home. So ultimately, where are they going to go? So that is why we are destroying the environment in one way. Then next is pollution. Again, another cause, that is the pollution. More population, it is of course going to lead to more of the pollution. And the third is extinction. Extinction means, can anyone tell me what is extinction? Extinct species. Now realize,
decreasing
call anyone?
and decreasing of a
Ma'am, to
species.
stop being exist.
Yeah, again, beta.
Ma'am, to stop being existing.
Fine, in a way. the species that no more exist on earth. They have gone, they have completely vanished. Kahi nahi hai ab. So they are called extinct. Can you name anyone?
Ma'am, dodo bird.
Some
Yes.
sparrows.
Dinosaurs? So they no more exist on earth, and this is, you can say, this is not good. When the species completely vanishes from earth, it gets extinct, then you can no more see it. You can just see it in the pictures, you can see it in the magazines, newspapers, etc., but you do not have any record. I mean, you have record of it, but you cannot practically see it. You cannot practically research on it more because it is all gone. So these are the three impacts on the environment, on the ecosystem, that is deforestation, pollution, and extinction. Now, your homework for today is you are going to write about it because I have not explained to you it in detail. So, you'll first write about it. In the next class, we'll be discussing. I'll be asking you to speak what you have written. So, please make a note of it. Impact on ecosystem. What are the headings? Headings I am giving you. You are going to write an explanation for like 3 or 4 lines. Deforestation, pollution, and extinction. So this is how, children, we have come to the end of today's class. We'll meet again soon. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye, children.
Thank you, ma'am.